Okay, well, thank you very much. Kumusta kayo po, mga kababayan ko po dito sa Malaysia, dito pa sa Sabah, dito sa Kota Kinabalu, ang mga kababayan ko po, dyan po sa mga iba-ibang parte ng mundo, ang mga overseas Filipino workers, and of course, ang mga kababayan ko po, mga brothers and sisters ko po, dyan sa Pilipinas. Kumusta tayo ngayon? Today is Saturday, October 25th or 25 na ngayon. Hope everything is running smoothly. Ito po si Nico Fabian once again inviting all of you dito po sa programa Nick Talk, The Real Talk with Nico. Yes, dami tayo mga balita that I want to pass to you po, but unfortunately wala tayong enough time, no? So yun mga importante lang balita that I will be sharing with you dito po sa programa natin Nick Talk, The Real Talk with Nico, no? Especially mga kababayan ko po, mga Filipinos, na mga brothers and sisters ko, mga kapatid ko po, who are residing legally and residing and working dito po sa Malaysia, particularly sa Kota Kinabalu or dito po sa Sabah. Because this program is really meant for all of you. And of course, syempre naman, ang mga overseas Filipino workers sa iba-ibang parte ng mundo. And of course, ang mga kababayan natin dyan po sa Pilipinas. Alright, I will be focusing sa programa ngayon po, itong issue natin tungkol si dalawang ombudsman. Ang ex-ombudsman, si Samuel Martires, and ang bagong ombudsman natin, si Ombudsman Jesus Crispin Boying Remulla. So mamaya na yan po. In the meantime, in passing na muna tayo po. I just want to inform ang mga kababayan ko po dito sa Pilipinas na kilala ninyo ba yon si former Senator, Senate President natin, and of course ngayon is the legal advisor or chief ni President Bongbong Marcos, si Senator, ex-senator or former Senate President si Juan Ponce Enrile. Naalaala ba natin yung PDAF case, ang pork barrel, a case involving also millions of money? I think around 10 billion pesos yata yun, no? 10 billion pesos, no? Lumabas na ang korte, yesterday or kahapon, lumabas ang korte na na-acquit na si Enrile at si Napoles at saka ang si Gigi Reyes po. Yun po, after more than a decade, ngayon lang lumabas ang desisyon ng korte po. Ito po, no? The Sandigan Bayan on Friday or kahapon dito po, acquitted former senator and current presidential chief legal counsel si Juan Ponce Enrile. He's already 101 years old. 101 years old na yan si Enrile. He's a former chief of staff. Ang dating former chief of staff niya si Jessica Lucila Gigi Reyes and detained Congresswoman Jeanette Lim Napoles of 15 counts of graft over their alleged involvement in the Priority Development Assistance Fund or very known sa atin po as PDAF. So, acquitted na sila po. Yon ang desisyon ng korte. In a unanimous decision, the Sandigan Bayan Special 3rd Division said the prosecution failed to prove guilt beyond reasonable doubt that Enrile conspired with Reyes and Napoles to amass 172.83 million pesos in kickbacks from PDAF. No? Wala daw ano ito po, wala daw proof of guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Yon, involved sila po sa 172.83 million pesos kickbacks. Galing po sa PDAF. So yun po, no? It added that there was no civil liability imposed upon Enrile, who attended the promulgation via Zoom conference. So, he was not asked to pay any money po or fine, si Enrile. It added that there was no civil liability imposed upon Enrile who attended the promulgation via Zoom. Online yan po, no? Online conference siya po. Sa Zoom siya kasi may sakit din si Enrile. However, the court held Napoles civil liability requiring her to return millions of pesos to the Bureau of Treasury. To the Bureau of Treasury po. So, yon. Yon po ang latest updates natin tungkol sa kaso ng PDAF. Si Enrile, si Gigi Reyes, and si Janet Napoles. Narinig din natin po, and it was officially announced din po, published sa mga national media dyan po sa Pilipinas, na naalala din kayo, itong engineer ng Department of Public Works and Highways dyan po sa Bulacan. Nag-decide na siya po, he will not be seeking state witness protection. He withdrew his application dyan po sa State Witness Protection Program. Kagaya din yun po the other day, last week, 2 weeks ago siguro yun po, si Diskaya, ang couple, si Curly and si Sarah, ang asawa ni Curly, also said that they are not going to, or they withdrew ang application nila sa State Witness Protection Program. Sabi ang Diskaya, we are not going to give our support anymore dyan po sa ongoing ICI investigation dahil they will just answer whatever accusation sa kanya po, no? O sa kanila dyan sa proper platform o forum, ibig sabihin dyan po sa korte na po, no? Sa korte na. So this time around po, mayroon naman pronunciation na coming from Bryce Hernandez. Si Bryce Hernandez po, wherein he himself also announced that he is pulling out his application from the State Witness Protection Program. Ombudsman Jesus Crispin Remulla confirmed yesterday, na-confirm si Ombudsman Jesus Crispin Remulla, confirmed on Friday that the former Bulacan Assistant District Engineer Bryce Hernandez was no longer seeking to be a state witness, but he would be given special consideration as a cooperative witness. No? Hindi na, ayaw na niya po. No? Ayaw na niya po. So, sabi din narinig din natin, si Ombudsman, sabi niya po, there is a possibility na itong mga involved sa scandal, sa scandal, flood control projects, scandal dyan po sa Pilipinas, involving trillions of taxpayers' money, no? They might be, ang mga kaso nila po will be filed on or before Christmas or before end of this year. Tagal pa, ano po? What is happening dyan po sa investigation? Matagal talaga. No? Matagal talaga. We will wait until now is already October, although we are going towards the end of October. So mayroon pa November and then December po. Bago daw magpaskwa or before the year ends maybe, no? Mag-file na ng kaso ang mga persons involved or named dito po sa anomalya. But walang politician po, walang legislator. Lahat ng ito po, yung mga engineers, yung mga government officials po, no? Government officials sa majority is coming from the Department of Public Works and Highways. So what happened? Ano nangyari? Ano nangyari sa mga pangalan ng mga legislators natin, ng mga lawmakers natin na allegedly, reportedly involved dito po sa anomalya. Mga senators, mga congressmen. What happened? Although, sabi ni Ombudsman Remulla, na once mag-file na daw ang kaso kay Saldico, then only they will be able to, once the case will be filed against former Congressman Saldico in the court, then only they will cancel the Philippine passport of Saldico. So in the meantime, maghintay tayo po. Maghintay tayo po. May good news yun po, pero anything can happen. Anything can happen. Nakikita natin ngayon po ang sitwasyon ngayon, itong sabihin natin this ongoing investigation. It is a circus already po. Issues left and right, focusing dito po, and then it will divert to the other issue and to the other issue po. And the outcome is what? All promises po. Only promises. Ngayon, may promise na naman na filing of cases sa mga tao na ito po will be before, could happen on or before Christmas or before the year ends. That is the situation now. Diyan sabi niya. Do you agree? Gusto ba natin po? Maghintay tayo and who knows, dahil sa siguro, I'm not, who knows, it will be delayed again dahil may mga Christmas pa tayo, baka mga typhoon pa tayo dyan sa Pilipinas, delayed ang hearing, kagaya what happened. The other day, ang ICI, ang Independent Commission for Infrastructure, announced that they are going to open up the hearing po. The hearing, ICI hearing. In other words, open to the public. Media can cover it. The public will see it over the television or online coverage. But after 1 or 2 days po, nag-announce ulit ang ICI that they cannot do it. They cannot do it next week. Kasi sabi niya, next week. In other words, this coming week na po. But now they said they cannot do it po because they have other things to attend to po. Ang preparation for making it a public, ang coverages po. So, ano ba ito? Niloloko lang ba tayo po or what? Or what? Then, mayroon din mga tao, we are talking, I heard sa social media, I read postings left and right and even news coming from the Philippines. And even ordinary Filipinos talking dito po sa Sabah, they say, dami po mga diversionary tactics dito po sa investigation. One of this is, ang mga Filipinos dito po, they told me yesterday na they suspect that itong announcement, although nag-U-turn, nag-retract na si Ombudsman Crispin Remulla about asking the Senate to impose for the dismissal of Senator Joel Villanueva po, because of the recommendation made by the previous or former Ombudsman si Morales about suspending, dismissal of Joel Villanueva because of corruption involved ito po sa PDAF scam. That was 2016. So, yesterday, sabi ni Ombudsman Remulla, once you go to the hearing ng budget for the Ombudsman po, he will personally hand over ang official letter or request for dismissal of Joel or Senator Joel Villanueva po to Senate President Vicente Soto. But unfortunately, he retracted it because he found out na na-dismiss pala yung kaso 2019 by former Ombudsman si Samuel Martires in 2019. Ang rason naman ni, or alibay, or rason ni Remulla is that He's not aware. That's why he issued that statement, thinking that everything is okay, but only to find out na na-dismiss na. So sabi niya, they kept it secret. Ang dismissal or acquittal of the case of Joel Villanueva, or Senator Joel Villanueva po. They kept it secret from the public and even to him. That's why when he made his announcement the other day, si Remulla, he doesn't know that the case was dismissed in 2019. Ano ba yon? Alibay lang ba yung sekreto? Or he did not do his job properly? Bago pa lang ito si Ombudsman Remulla po. No? Maybe he was fed wrong information po, or kulang information. That's why he was so confident when he announced na ano talaga po. He will personally send the letter, hand over the letter of dismissal, request for dismissal of Senator Joel Villanueva po kay Senator or kay Senate President Tito Soto yesterday po sa hearing. But hindi yun nangyari po kasi nag-U-turn na siya po after being informed na dismiss pala yung case. So, in fairness po, no? In fairness to former Samuel Martires, no? On this issue, wherein Remulla is claiming that the dismissal decision was kept secret, no? In fairness to Martires po, mayroon tayo dito mga video clips that I would like to share with you, no? To share with you po, and kayo na bahala. Kayo na bahala po to judge, to assess sino ang telling the truth, who is telling the truth. I will leave it sa inyo po, mga kababayan ko dito po sa Sabah. So at least aware lang kayo po, no? Kasi marami tayong mga fake news po, no? And then if we will not make it clear or show some video clips po, no? Baka you might be persuaded to believe na ito is the genuine news. Na sekreto ito po. Kept secret. Because I believe, Ombudsman will not keep secret po. No? Will not keep secret. Ang korte natin po will not keep secret to the public. But sabi ni Ombudsman, newly appointed Ombudsman, si Remulla, he claimed, allegedly, he claimed that he was in the dark. He was kept in the dark. Sekreto daw itong dismissal. So anyway, let's listen po. Kayo na bahala. Let me share with you itong video clip. My first video clip po is itong interview ito po ng ANC po kay former Ombudsman Samuel Martires. Series ito po. Marami ito po, no? Marami itong video clip. But I cannot give it to you in one go po dahil mahaba talaga. So nakuha ko lang yan po mga portions na importante and easy to understand. Alright? Nandito po. First video clip that I would like to share with you, ito po. Let's listen to this. Hold on, ha? Okay. Tapos kayo na bahala. Po. You think whether anong assessment ninyo?
Transparent. Go ahead.
With all due respect to that professor, I think kulang ang basa niya sa functions ng ombudsman, okay? The ombudsman, of course, is mandated to be transparent. No doubt about it. Any government office under the Constitution is mandated to be transparent. Kung nagbasa-basa si Professor Father, it is not the function of the ombudsman to be conducting every day a press conference announcing that this is what I did, announcing to the people that I signed the order dismissing from the service Senator Juan de la Cruz. It is not the duty of the Ombudsman to be announcing. Probably my predecessor was doing it. Probably my successor now is doing it. But I did not want to be glorified at the expense of people whose guilt are not yet determined by the court. Because the function of the Ombudsman is just to determine probable cause for purposes of filing an information in court. It is now the duty of the Ombudsman to prove to the court that there is proof beyond reasonable doubt. If the court is not convinced that there is proof beyond reasonable doubt, the accused is acquitted. So kung magpuputak ako ngayon, kung magpe-press ko na ako na nag-file ako ng case labang kay Juan de la Cruz, and later on Juan de la Cruz is acquitted by the court, hindi ko ba sinira ang dignidad ni Juan de la Cruz? Did I not destroy the reputation of Juan de la Cruz? Did I not destroy the family of Juan de la Cruz, especially in the cases about violation of the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act? Nirerespeto ko yung dignidad ng isang tao. Pinoprotektahan ko yung dignidad ng isang tao dahil karapatan niya yun eh. Let the court now announce that he was convicted. Not us to announce that Juan de la Cruz was convicted by the court. I don't want to glorify myself at the expense of people who are convicted by the court, or at the expense of people who have cases before the office of the Ombudsman. If that is their hang-up, let it be. That is not my hang-up. That is not the values that was inculcated to me by my parents. That is not the values that was given to me by the victim when I studied my law.
Alright, yan po, narinig natin si former Ombudsman Samuel Martires. Sabi niya po, it is not his style, no? Na everything he will go to the media and announce po, no? Anong mga desisyon po. Kasi mayroon silang mga guidelines, mga procedures po. And as long as they will inform ang mga parties concerned, ang korte, kung sino-sino po, then that's more than enough po, no? Para sa kanya po, that's how, because he wants to protect the integrity of this accused people, no? Tama naman yan, para sa akin, tama naman yan po. Because sabi ni Martires, what if, I'm going to announce ganito po, and then pagdating na sa korte, sa Sandigan Bayan o sa korte po, no? Baliktad ang findings nila po, kawawa talaga ang person concerned. So he was also asked, bakit kay Joel Villanueva lang? Itong people is raising the issue now po. Why of all the other cases po, why concerned lang talaga sila kay Senator Joel Villanueva? Nandito po, let's listen also. I will share with you. Also, I will share with you itong video clip. Ang audio po, ang boses po is coming from Martires. Martires po. Sandali, 132. Let's listen.
Secret decision yun? So let me ask also, why of all cases, this is the only case that pwede to the table of the Ombudsman Remulla. Bakit ito ng kaso ni Joel Villanueva? Yung dami namang kaso sa Ombudsman na dinisisyon na namin. Bakit bukod kami ay kaso ni Joel Villanueva? Dahil nagsabi kay Ombudsman Remulla na yan si Villanueva, dinismiss yan noong araw ni Ombudsman Carpio Morales. See? Bakit ko bibigyan ng kopya si Carpio Morales ng decision ko, hindi naman party interest si Carpio Morales. And why should also the office of the Ombudsman at that time in 2019 give Remulla a copy of that decision when Remulla is not a party to the case?
Okay, former ombudsman. Yeah, if I may, let me go through my questions as well. Here's the thing, you spoke of protection a while ago. Sabi niyo po, pinoprotektahan niyo din yung dignidad nung tao. And this is what people have been telling saying about your stint as ombudsman when you were still sitting there in that office. They were saying that you were in fact protecting these persons.
Alright, so yun po, narinig natin po ang reasoning ni Ombudsman Martires. Sabi niya po, wala siyang obligation to keep or inform si Remulla because during that time, even si Morales, because they are not part of the parties involved. He gave the decision or inform the other parties concerned, and that includes Senator Joel Villanueva sa korte po, sa Sandigan or sino-sino pa po ang mga kailangan be informed po. Be informed. Alright? So, palagay ninyo po. Huh? Anyway, sige lang. Let's continue. Here's another video clip. In fairness lang ito po, no? In fairness lang ito kay former Ombudsman Samuel Martires because ito ang issue ngayon po dyan po sa Pilipinas. And ito ang mga concern ng mga Filipinos din po dito sa Sabah. We want to know ano talaga nangyari, no? So let's also listen to this video clip.
Don't get me wrong. One of the powers or of the mandate given to the ombudsman is to be the protector of the people. The word people is used in unqualified terms, meaning to say you should protect the rights of the complainant and the rights of the respondent. Kaya hindi ako nagsasalita. It's not because pinoprotektahan ko itong mga taong ito. Pero siya, pinoprotektahan ko sa kaso, no. Kaya hindi ako nagsasalita dahil wala akong karapatan sirain ng kanyang future. Kasi, okay, ay na nga, sabi ko na nga kanina, sinabi ko na nag-file kami ng kaso o we found this particular person guilty of violating guilty of malversation, sabihin na lang natin. Pagpatak sa utak ng mga tao na itong tao ito ay nag-malverse ang pera. Paano kung pagdating sa court sa Sandigan Bay, inakwit itong taong ito? Diba ako ang gumawa ng pinasira ng taong ito? Kasi sabi ko nga, magkaibang degree of proof. Ang sa amin is only probable cause for purposes of filing a complaint or information in court. Once the complaint or once the case reaches the court, a different degree of proof, a higher degree of proof is required, which is proof beyond reasonable doubt. So, pag inakwit ng court, isiniraan ko na. Nagsasalita na ko na, hindi, guilty yan eh. Nagwandas ng pera yan eh. Ikinakwit ng court. Ito na yung nasa yung utak ng taong bayan na nagwandas ka ng pera to. Hindi ba siniraan ko yung taong yun? I am not saying I am protecting the guilty, no. Mali yun. That is taken out of context.
How would you...
It's supposed to be the protector of the people.
Exactly.
Okay.
So,
Yan. Yan po, may puntos din si Ombudsman, former Ombudsman Martires. Ang role ng Ombudsman is protect everybody. Na? Protect everybody. Hindi lang ang guilty, hindi lang yung not guilty. No? And that is the reason why he's doing this thing. Ganon po. He don't want to go to the media. Yun ang style niya po. Because he doesn't want that the reputation of this certain individuals po will be tarnished. Yun na nga, sabi niya, if we will say na ganito po ang findings ng Ombudsman, every case dyan po sa kanila, and then pagdating sa Sandigan Bayan, iba ang findings na nasira na ang pangalan, ang reputasyon ng accused. Kaya nga sabi niya po, I am not doing it because ours is we have to submit our investigations, no, recommendations to Sandigan Bayan. And sila na po. And of course, whatever the decisions po, it will officially be, they are going to inform all the parties concerned. And when it comes to dissemination of findings, no? Ang korte po, mayroon din sila sistema po to sa system nila po, you can get, it's just a matter of just clicking a button, then you will find out or you will see ang findings or ang decision ng kaso, no, ng kaso po. So that is the explanation of Martires. Next, he was asked on the transparency, whether transparent ba siya or hindi and all these things, kasi yun din ang issue, no, sa kanya, raised by the newly appointed Crispin Remulla. So nandito po, let's watch and listen to this. Ano ba ito? Transparency is okay, nandito. Let's watch and listen to this.
Being transparent enough so that the people know of the decision. Ito nga na-dismiss naman.
Let's go back to the basics. Let's go back to the basics. Let's first define transparency. What does transparency mean? Diba? Anong ibig sabihin ng transparency? Kailangan ba lahat ng detalye ng kaso araw-araw i-announce namin? Kailangan ba tawag doon, pag mayroon kaming desisyon, i-announce ng ombudsman? Kailangan ba tuwing mananalo ang ombudsman ng kaso sa husgado, i-announce ng ombudsman? Is that transparency? Is that the definition of transparency? Transparency means to say that my acts are all transparent, my acts are all open to the public. So kung may magtatanong sa amin, tulad ng kaso ni Joel Villanueva, marami nag-request ng kopya ng decision. Binibigyan namin. That is transparency. Wala kami tinago. Kaya kung sinasabing secret decision, you know, nakakatawa, wala kami secret decision kasi hindi ko na makuha kung sino yung mga tao, but I know that we've been receiving letters before requesting for a copy of the decision dismissing the case of Senator Joel Villanueva. In fact, that copy of the decision was furnished the Senate President Vicente Soto III. Pinadala noon namin siya ng kopya ng desisyon. You can check the files of the Senate.
Yeah, and we checked it.
Yun.
Yeah. Sorry, former Ombudsman, we're running out of time, and we do need to ask you a few more questions. There's also this criticism.
Okay? Yan po. When it comes to transparency, nalinaw talaga si Martires. No? Ang transparency doesn't mean that every decision of the ombudsman, any case of the ombudsman, transparency means that they have to go to the media and announce it publicly. No. Hindi po, sabi niya. Ang style niya is not ganon. Transparency, he will make sure that ang procedures are transparent, no, everything to Sandigan Bayan po. And decision of announcing it to the public po will come to the proper authorities. Kayo po, what do you think? Okay ba yan? The way he explained it? Alright? Okay, another one. Another video clip. To be fair lang kay sabihin natin Martires.
Again, I go back to my previous question. That the Supreme Court always announces its decision. Are all the decisions of the Supreme Court published? There are unpublished decisions those that are published at the ISCRA or the Philippine reports are decisions that have already been selected to be published. So you mean to say those unpublished decisions are secret decisions? You know that for a fact that there is such a thing in the Supreme Court as a minute resolution. You mean to say that minute resolution is also is a secret minute resolution? No. These all form parts of the records of the case. Wala ho. Yung alam ko, yung nakikriticize ho sa akin, Albert Dilawan, Timplawan, kasi lahat ng bagay na nangyayari nga, nilalagyan ng political color. Wala naman akong kulay politika. I admire so much Noynoy Aquino. I admire Gloria Macapagal-Arroyo. At kaya hindi ko alam kung bakit itong mga critics ko walang tigil Kanino ba sila? Are my critics working for the complainant? Bayad ba sila na amin? At I'm sorry to say these things. Especially the PR office Bayad ba sila? Alam ko yun
Or
Ay,
maybe,
wala nang ginawang sulat kundi kontra sa akin.
well, former ombudsman, or maybe,
Alright. Yan po. How do you look at it? Does it mean that, let's say, ang court, Supreme Court, will not make it public, no? Make it public or announce publicly ang mga decisions nila po. Will we consider it as secret lang ng korte po? Hindi, ganyan po. Kasi mayroon ding cases wherein hindi dapat i-reveal sa publiko. Ganun yun po. Sabi ni former Ombudsman Martires. Sa palagay ninyo po, what do you think? May puntos ba? Ang problema dyan po, itong issue ngayon, the problem is, there is politics here. Because from the very beginning, if you look at it, the formation, establishment of ombudsman mo, protector ng tao, walang politiko. That's why, if you remember, may mga tao noon before the appointment of Ombudsman Remulla, they were already shouting, hindi dapat si Remulla because, I'm not saying that he is putting political color dito sa issue. But some people very concerned about the appointment of the new ombudsman. They say it must not come from a politician. The ombudsman must not be a politician. So based on what they are saying, ito mga critics din ni Remulla, sabi niya, if you look at the record of Remulla, he's a politician. And ang mga relatives niya, immediate relatives niya, nasa pwesto po. Nasa pwesto. Politicians. And things are moving, kung you allow these things, politics to be in, dito po sa mga kaso, then mahirap na. That's why si former Ombudsman Martires was saying, hindi siya sa politik, wala siya sa politik, and he doesn't want that itong issue po, his critics are putting political color po. That's why ganito ang sitwasyon ngayon. Ganito ang sitwasyon ngayon. So may puntos. For me, may puntos. Pero kayo nang bahala po. Kayo mag-assess. Anong opinion ninyo po? What is your opinion? Whether what he's saying got points, true or not, it all depends on you. Kayo, mga followers ko po dito sa Nick Talk, The Real Talk with Nico. Kayo po, mga kababayan ko dito sa Sabah. O dito sa Malaysia in general. It's up to you. It's up to you po. What I'm trying to do is just to share with you what I managed to gather, mga news po, and present it to you so that you people, mga kababayan ko dito sa Malaysia po, will not be blurred. You will know what is really happening ang mga issues, especially dito mga hot issues po sa Pilipinas. Para at least alam natin po what is happening sa Pilipinas. who is telling the truth, who is right, who is wrong. This is my very purpose why mayroon tayong Nick Talk, the Real Talk with Nico. Okay, during the interview, si former Ombudsman Martinez was also asked on the issue of SALN, Statement of Assets, Liabilities, and Net Worth. Let's listen to him po regarding this issue. Nandito, sandali. Okay, SALN na tayo ha, sa SALN na tayo. Okay, let's listen to this. Saan na yun? Alright, nandito po.
Well, I did not prevent access to SALN of all government officials. I go back again to what I said to the stupid professor, hindi siya nagbasa. Okay? If you read the memorandum order that I issued on the access of SALN, I was referring to a statement of assets and liabilities that are filed in the office of the Ombudsman. So what are these assets and liabilities na nakafile? Kanino? SALN ng Presidente, ng Vice Presidente, ng Chairman ng Civil Service Commission, Chairman ng COA, Chairman ng COMELEC, Chairman ng Human Rights Commission, at sa Ombudsman. After that, you have the governors, the mayors, and the councilors. So you have the light earners down the line. Wala ho sa amin ang SALN ng cabinet members. Wala ho sa amin ang SALN ng undersecretary.
No, but I
Wala
guess
ho sa amin ang SALN ng mga general.
the criticism is, did you even have to make that decision? And your critics are now lumping all of these controversial decisions together. Add to this decision on Senator Joel Villanueva's case, and they sort of have this whole picture of a one-sitting ombudsman that held office that wasn't true to its mandate, and that this ombudsman protected the interests of a few rather than protecting the interests of the public. That's the picture that they have, former ombudsman.
Why are you throwing the stone only at me? Okay? The Supreme Court, the judiciary has its own guidelines on how to access the SALN of justices and judges. And the very basic in that guideline is always the consent of the owner of the filer, of the justice or the judge. The Senate of the Philippines also has guidelines, and one of the guidelines is consent of the
Alright. Yan, narinig natin po, no? About the SALN. SALN, sabi niya, yes, sa amin, wala ang mga kongreso. Senate and Congress po. Ang guidelines nila po is, if you want, we put out ang SALN ng particular person po is only with consent. Dapat may consent po sa tao na yon po. Ang may-ari ng SALN. Yon po. And hindi lang sila po kasi mayroon din yon ang may guidelines din ang Senado, ang House of Representatives, ang Korte, mayroon din po guidelines po on how to reveal ang SALN ng particular person. Isa lang po. Lahat sila, no? Hindi lang ang ombudsman. Isa lang ang guidelines nila that they make it very clear. Seek first the consent of that particular person or individual who owns the SALN. Yun po. Hindi lang ang ombudsman, ha? Parehas sila, may guidelines. And one of their guidelines is, they all agreed na kailangan ang SALN, before it will be exposed to the public or make known to the public, kailangan maghingi ng consent. Seek the consent of that particular party concerned. Which is fair enough for me. Pangit naman, when there is a request, immediately without the consent of this person involved, i-release lang tayo agad-agad. No. And hindi lang yun ang guidelines ng Ombudsman, as what I said, lahat po mga parties concerned. That involves ang Congress, House of Representatives, ang Senate, mayroon din silang guidelines, ang Korte and others. No? So yun ang explanation ni former Ombudsman. Sabi niya, no, it's not that I'm protecting a certain group only. He said, I'm protecting everybody. Kasi mahirap na. No? Mahirap na. Again, it boils down to my political color na naman ito. No? Political color. Okay. I think this will be my final video clip po. And sabi niya, bakit sa amin lang? Bakit hindi sa Congress? Why you are not questioning other bodies concerned? Like the Congress, mayroon silang this kind of guidance, guidelines. Ang Korte, blah blah blah, Sandigan Bayan, no? Why sa amin lang? Bakit sa amin lang? So let's listen to Martires.
Why are you throwing the stone only at me? Okay? The Supreme Court, the judiciary has its own guidelines on how to access the stallion of justices and judges. And the very basic in that guideline is always the consent of the owner of the filer, of the justice or the judge. The Senate of the Philippines also has guidelines, and one of the guidelines is consent of the filer. The House of Representatives also has the same guideline. In fact, the House of Representatives went even further, that it needs the approval of majority of its members during plenary session. Okay? So bakit ang ombudsman ang tinatamaan? Bakit hindi nila kinikriticize ang Senado? Bakit hindi nila kinikriticize ang House of Representatives? Bakit hindi nila kinikriticize ang judiciary? Dahil hindi nila kaya, ang kaya nila ang ombudsman? Is that it? Bakit hindi nila kinikriticize ang judiciary? Dahil magkakaroon sila ng mga kaso, natatapos sila matalo? Bakit hindi nila kinikriticize ang Congress? Dahil meron sila mga kaibigan congressman na tatamaan? Ang tanong bakit ang ombudsman? Why throw the stone to the ombudsman? Pare-pareho kami may mga guidelines, and the only guidelines, the only thing that I ask, or we ask, kunin mo ang consent ng may-ari ng salin, then we issue it to you. Period. So, Attorney Baraogo went to the Supreme Court to question this guideline. The Supreme Court denied this, the Supreme Court upheld the right of the Ombudsman to promulgate its rules. And in fact, the Supreme Court in that Baraogo case admitted that even the judiciary has its own guidelines on how to access the salin. Alright, nga ang tanong namin lahat sa Ombudsman noong araw, bakit kami lagi ang sinisisi? Then kami lang ang kaya?
Oh, maybe because...
Alright. Klarong-klaro, no? Klarong-klaro po ang explanation ni former Ombudsman Martires. Martires po. SAL N is Statement of Assets and Liabilities and Net Worth. Net worth, no? Magkano ang ang assets mo? Ha? Ano-ano mga liabilities mo po? Ang total assets mo po. Magkano? And nakita natin po, sila Senator Ruben Padilla, ngayon lumabas na po ang mga SALN nila, no? Mga SALN nila po. And that's the style of Remulla, because noon, sabi ni Ombudsman Martires, we can only publish it kung may consent. So ngayon, sabi ni Remulla, hindi, let's open it to the public. Let everybody nasa gobyerno po submit their SALN in the event mayroon requests coming from the public to look at the SALN of this particular person, no? Then they will release. But of course with consent pa rin, di ba? ang style ni Ombudsman, he said, we did not, ni Martires, he said, we are not preventing. But hingi muna tayo ng consent sa may-ari ng SALN before we can give it sa publiko ang SALN. So ngayon, sabi ni Remulla, ang bagong Ombudsman, sabi niya, let's open it. So, asking all the parties concerned to submit their SALN. Mayroon na, nakita na natin po, no? And ang question kahapon is that whether our President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos will also come out openly ang SALN niya po. Because his last SALN was when he was still a senator. No? Magkano talaga ang kayamanan niya po? Ang liabilities na po. But meron mga tao saying, itong issue ng SALN, it can be another diversionary technique about itong issue ng scandal ngayon. They will try to raise this issue na tingnan nyo, itong ang yaman ng isang congressman or senator or whoever po. So it will divert. Kasi nakikita ngayon, ang mga tao ngayon, when we see sa media, sa legit media, no? Labas na po ang mga SALN. And we can see magkano ang pera nila po. Some are with only 120 million, some almost 1 billion, no? But totoo ba yun po? Ang declaration nila. The problem if they will not do it properly po, they will not be honest po, they will be liable also for perjury. Perjury din yan po. They are not telling the truth, ang SALN nila po. So maganda din itong SALN, but depende. Kaya sabi ni Senator Amy Marcos, asking his first cousin, sabi niya, if his first cousin or her first cousin, si Martin Romualdez will put out ang SALN niya po, ang ano niya po is, whether totoo ba yan o lahat na ba yan? Ha? Totoo ba yan o lahat na ba yan? Ang kayabanan, ang mga properties. Kasi once SALN na yon, kanya maganda yon, maglabas na yon, kung sakali, let's say, ako, for example, ako ang congressman, no? I will put my SALN, no? And make it public. So, isang tao will come in and look at my SALN, tapos sabi niya, oy, bakit itong isang bahay, kapitbahay kami, itong bahay niya dito, wala sa SALN niya. In other words, he did not declare also ang bahay niya dito po. I did not declare ang bahay ko po. Yung nakita ang kapitbahay ko po. Sabi niya, siya nakatira dito eh. Araw-araw nakapunta yun dito, nakatulog yun dito. Bakit wala included sa SALN niya? So yun po. So it will be an issue again. But anyway, maganda din submitting ang SALN lahat ng mga elected officials, government officials natin po is good. Because we will be able to see paano ang buhay nila po before they become elected, during nasa helm pa sila po, nasa position, and after, paano po ang status nila sa society, financial status nila po. We will be able to see. We'll be able to see. So, yun po. Yun ang issue, mga kababayan ko, mga Filipinos dito sa Sabah ngayon po, especially itong hot issue between former Ombudsman Samuel Martires and the newly appointed Ombudsman si Crispin Remulla po. No? Sabi ni Crispin Remulla, ni Ombudsman Remulla, sabi niya, nagsekreto daw yan po ang dismissal ni Joel, dismissal of the case of, or acquittal the case of Joel Villanueva, Senator Joel Villanueva. Bakit daw sekreto? He's not aware. And even you expect the media, no, when he asked that question, si Remulla, during the interview yesterday, he asked the question to the media. Sabi niya, kayo, nalaman niyo ba na wala itong kaso ni Joel Villanueva, 2019? Come on na, Mr. Ombudsman. These are young people in front of you when they interviewed yesterday. Do you expect them to know? Ikaw nga hindi alam? What more po yung mga bagong media natin dyan who interviewed you yesterday? Yan na po. That's how we look at it po. No? That's how we look at it. But anyway, lahat ito po, I'm just passing ang information. Kayo na bahala po. No? This is not a fake news. These are genuine. These are supported by video clips po by people nasa authority po. No? I'm just relating it to you so that tayo mga Filipinos dito po sa Malaysia or those who are watching itong program ngayon po, you will also be aware. No? Be aware po. Maybe you did manage to get it from other sources, but you are watching ang program ko ngayon, then at least this is additional information sa inyo. No? So siguro hanggang dito na lang ang programa natin, Nick The Real Talk with Nico. Today is Saturday. I hope Saturday and Sunday will be maganda ang buhay natin po sa weekend holidays natin. Malaysia will be busy. No? It's still very busy hanggang ngayon po. Dahil tomorrow, mag-start na po ang ASEAN Summit dito sa Kuala Lumpur. No? Busy. Kaya nga, roads will be closed today, tomorrow, and on Monday. Dahil po mga leaders natin, Asian leaders natin, that includes even the President of United States of America, si President Trump, will be coming down to Kuala Lumpur to attend the ASEAN meeting. Kung ano na mga latest updates tungkol sa ASEAN Summit, dito lang po si Nick Talk will monitor, and para sa atin, mga Filipinos dito sa Sabah and those who are interested, I'll make sure that you will be informed of ano-anong mga issues discussed during the ASEAN Summit. In the meantime, once again, I would like to say thank you very much for making me a part of your day today. Ingat lang kayo po, and take good care of yourself. Malaysia, Sabah, the Philippines, once again, thank you very much for making me a part of your day. God bless us all. I love the Philippines. I love Malaysia. I love you all. Bye.